When the doctor told us about my mom's diagnosis, I was in shock. All I could think was, my mother has cancer. The thought of what was going to happen to her and our family, it made me feel so helpless. And then a friend recommended I call the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. I spoke to Grace from LLS, who took the time to answer my questions about the disease, treatment options, and the resources to help with cancer-related expenses. She was patient and so supportive. Her compassion made us feel whole again. Today, I'm calling Grace to let her know my mom is beating cancer.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Umi Umira binti Bukri, and together with me,
I'm Nur Izani Amalia.
I am Siti Nur Shuhaida.
we are from group Skyscraper. So we believe that all of you have watched the video that we put in the beginning of this presentation video. So we just want to give you guys an idea what we're going to present today. So we would like to share with you guys on the case of Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. So this is the flow of our presentation. We will briefly explain on the background of the company and analyze the situation based on two analysis tools, which are SWOT analysis and also PESTEL analysis. And we define the main problem and formulate the alternative using analysis tools and analyze alternatives and decision and implementation plan. So the background of the company is about the organization. LLS is actually a stand for Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, where it is a 501 charitable organization founded in 1949, and it is the largest voluntary health organization or non-profit organization dedicated only to fighting blood cancer in the world. LLS is located in White Plains, New York, with a network of chapters in the US and also Canada. Purpose of the establishment of the company is that they want to fund research purposely for blood cancer and patient services, professional and patient education, representations of patients' health care concerns, medical research interests to government policymakers. So the missions of this organization is that they want to cure leukemia, lymphoma, Hodgkin lymphoma, and myeloma, and also they want to improve the quality life of the patients and their families. So move on to analyze situation. So as said before, we will use SWOT analysis as the tools for analyze the situation, where the first is strengths and weaknesses is the internal environment that we are able to control within the company, which the first is the strength, the world's largest voluntary health organizations, and also they have boards. The boards that governs the company is among the experienced top managers, and they also have diversified their revenue sources, which they are not only focused on the revenue. One sources of revenue, but they try to diversify it, and they have multiple division. With regards to multiple division, is like they have many chapters in the company, and every division will carry out their own objective and missions, which their objective and missions will support the whole objective of organizations. And the weaknesses, in terms of the fundraising, they only rely on the generosity of the contributors or the government, where in the case stated that they only rely on the single types of fundraising method. And also they don't optimize the use of social media to connect to the audiences, where they only focus on the way they market their companies by they only focus on the word of mouth to mouth among the people, and also green roots and the program that they help. And they also heavily relies on volunteers throughout the organization. So as for the opportunity and threat, which is the external environment that impact, external factor that impact the organizations. So we believe that partners, and if they have partners and with charitable organization like Alliance for Child Cancer, community health charities, and etc. Is one of the opportunity that they should grab. And also, the government impose tax deductible to all money to the donors who want to donate the money in the NGO, especially LLS. So for the threat, we believe that the government issue is one of the threat to the organization, where the lack of oversight, which can trigger to the agency problem, and also they have high competitors. They're also suffering from the recession, disaster relief effort, and bottleneck situation, which the bottleneck situation refer to the situation where they have they are lacking in the resources, but they are increasing in the demand for the NGO services like LLS. So for the pestle analysis, we focus for the pestle analysis. In terms of the political point of view, the government imposed tax deduction for donor groups, and we believe that this will encourage more people to donate to charitable organization like LLS and etc. So in terms of the economic point of view, recession will result in needed resources, where like I explained before about the bottleneck situation, where the demand from non-profit services keep increasing while they are lacking in the resources. And also this will impact the spending habit of the donor. And in terms of the social, they can create awareness among the society regarding this cancer, and they will improve the likelihood of patient, like what they are trying to achieve in the organization. And also they want to achieve its mission through employee and volunteer talent acquisition and engagement. So I will pass presentation to Izani.
Next, in terms of technology, advanced technology in R&D to assist LLS in achieving their mission, which is to cure leukemia, lymphoma, Hodgkin lymphoma and myeloma, and improve the quality of life of patients and their families. In terms of environment, LLS can protect the environment by advertise more about LLS through other medias instead of physical advertisement that have to use paper such as flyer in creating the awareness. In term of legal, like regulation imposed by government to non-profit organisation that leads to agency problem. The non-profit industry is unregulated and unaccountable to outsiders, which of like regulation in most states. This general lack of oversight can subject firms to agency problems stemming from excessive executive salaries or professional fees associated with operations. Next, we will define the main problem. The protagonist of LLS is George Omiros. George is the one who is responsible for revenue generation strategies for LLS. George also provides strategic direction and overall management of LLS chapters and their campaign activities, including LLS core campaigns. The main problem of LLS is we decide on how LLS can diversify their funding model to maintain the growth of organization. So the key issue of this main problem, as a big NGO, LLS focus on raising most of their money from a single type of funding, such as corporation or government. That was a natural match for their mission. LLS also raise their fund through core campaign activities, which are team in training like the Night Walk, Men and Women of the Year, and School and Youth programs in the United States and Canada. LLS also possess a fundraising advantage through marketing and positioning, which focus on grassroots word of mouth efforts and programs to reinforce the mission. They do not fund centralized national marketing campaigns. Next, the demand for non-profit services has increased over the last 4 years, but the resources available to those in need are decreasing. So this is creating a bottleneck situation that is exacerbated by decreased funding to government social services as well. Next, we move to the alternative. We're using those analysis to arrive to the alternative. So first, for the string opportunity strategy, which we use strings 1 and 3, to grab new opportunities. One, by increase the number of donors by provide another service for another cancer, not only focus on blood cancer but also another cancer. Then brand recognition and increase revenue by customize and sell LLS, their own product of LLS. For the weakness and opportunity strategy, which we make use of opportunities one to overcome uh, the weakness one by merge as expertise from charitable organisation by complement each other in terms of their expertise and experience. Next, for the strength and trade strategy, which we eliminate external trades two with strength one by gain donors trust by the transparency on how they handling the donation, so that the donors know that their money is used in the right way. For the weakness threat strategy, we overcome weakness one to counter external threats five by introduce various type of funding methods, which not only depend on one source of donation from the company.
Based on our discussion, we would like to suggest three possible alternatives as to the solution to the main problem for LLS to diversify their funding model to maintain the growth of the organization, which are firstly, LLS can get the government funds such as getting government grant. This is because grant help provide funding for medical research, economic development, educational advances and various projects that provide to public services. Grant also essential gift that do not need to be repaid. Secondly, LLS can expand their organization to other countries by partnering with other countries' NGO. Lastly, a last alternative is LLS can customize and sell their own products such as t-shirt, bookmark, tote bag and also mug. Then we evaluate all the possible alternative by referring to the criteria, which are whether the alternative can increase fund resources, achieve the mission of LLS to cure the patient, increase the number of donors and volunteers, and also minimize the risk of loss of resources. For alternative evaluation, for the first alternative, we propose LLS to get the government fund since it can increase the fund resources and also can achieve the mission to cure the patient. However, this alternative cannot increase the number of donor and volunteer as this alternative only focusing on getting fund from government and not focusing on volunteer and donors. We also think that this alternative cannot minimize the risk of loss of resources since even the organization apply the government grant, there will be possibility where the application will not be approved. For the second alternative, we have proposed for LLS to expand their organization to other countries by partnering with other countries' NGO to solve the problem faced by the organization. We propose this solution because this alternative can help LLS to increase the fund resources, can achieve the mission to cure the patient, and also increase the number of donors and volunteers. However, we think that this alternative cannot minimize the risk of loss of resources since the partners can withdraw anytime that they want. Lastly, for the alternative 3, we think that it fulfills all the given criteria. Next, we will move to the decision and implementation plan. For the decision, we have chosen alternative 3, which is the organization can customize and sell their own product, which is they can establish new mechanism or market to sustain themselves in the long run. LLS can produce and customize their own t-shirt, a bookmark, tote bag, and also mug. The management should have proper strategic planning to ensure the growth of the business. The profit that earned from selling the product can be streamed to LLS. By this alternative, they can encourage people to buy and donate and also can create awareness about the blood cancer to the society. As a conclusion, we believe that if LLS adopt the alternative 3 as one of their solution to diversify their funding resources, first, they can have their own earning from the business. Through this, customer can buy and donate, and at the same time, the profit of the business can be streamed to LLS funding resources. Hence, LLS do not depend solely on the fund from corporation or government. So that's all from us. Thank you.